Welcome to How to Add Taxes to Your Website, Canadian edition. Have you ever wondered how to add tax to your WordPress website? How do you charge by the different provinces? Do you charge for outside of Canada? Well, we're going to get into all that details today. I'm Nicole with Supernova Sites, teaching you guys WordPress website design tutorials. I'm so happy today to have Ariel here with us from Fix My Books.
Hi guys, I'm Ariel from Fix My Books, and I'm a certified professional bookkeeper here in Canada. And I'm with Nicole today to teach you guys about HST or sales tax in Canada.
So just to start a brief overview, we're first going to go over some general information that business owners need to know about their taxes, where they can set up their tax with the government, and other details. After that, we're going to look at different products and shipping, taxing on shipping, do tax for virtual products, downloadable products, physical products. Finally, we're going to go to all step-by-step process how to add tax for the different provinces. So if you have any questions or concerns, please give Canada Revenue Agency a call. I'm sure they'll be happy to assist you. Is it mandatory to charge tax? Does everyone have to charge tax?
If you have more than $30,000 in sales, it is mandatory to register for an HST number with the CRA. But if you have less than $30,000 in sales, it is completely optional.
And is there any benefit to charging tax, or is it just because it's the law?
Well, I mean, first of all, it's required by the government. But also, if you start charging HST, then you can also claim input tax credits against that HST you charge. That's the benefit of registering for
What's
HST.
input tax credits?
It's basically the HST that you paid for the different services or goods that you purchased.
Okay, so if I myself, my company buys something and I get like a printer and I get taxed on that printer because I'm collecting HST for the government, that kind of gets off balance or something? Like they cross each other out kind of thing?
Yes, exactly. So you only pay to the government the net of the GST that you charge. So it's GST that you charged minus GST that you paid. Whatever is the ending balance, that's what you either remit to the government if you charge more than you paid. But then if you paid more than you charged, then the government will give you a refund. They
Got it.
will mail you a check or direct deposit it into your account.
Okay, that's good to know. And where can we sign up for, like, if I'm now making 30,000. Where do I sign up to make sure that my HST number and make sure that I can submit my money at the end of the year?
Well, it's very easy. You can register online or you can call up the CRA. They have a phone number you can call up and speak to someone and they can open it up for you over the phone. Or again, you can sign up online for it. They make it very easy.
Okay, awesome. So I'll just put the link here below for you guys. This is where you register for your account here. And then once we register, we get a HST number. Is that correct? Or GST account number?
Yes, you will get one. It's basically your business number plus RT0001.
And when do I have to give the government the tax that I charge my clients or customers? What time, when during the year is it due?
It depends on the schedule that the CRA gives you, but generally, if you're on annual schedule and you're a sole proprietor, it would be June 15th. But if you're in an annual schedule and you're a corporation, it's usually 3 months after your year end.
Because now, okay. So to start, this is really good information. We need to actually now start, if you want to start charging products on your website, we need to start installing something called WooCommerce. So to start, we're going to go log into your WordPress website and go to plugins and go add new. From here, we're going to look up a plugin called WooCommerce. You're going to install and also make sure to activate it. At the same time, we're also going to install Stripe. It'll give us the ability to charge by credit card. We're also going to charge by PayPal. So we're going to download this one as well. So make sure to activate them and install them. When you activate WooCommerce, it'll ask you to set up process, but you can skip that step if you like. On the left-hand side, you'll now see a tab that says WooCommerce. So we're going to do some very basic setup with WooCommerce or tax. We're going to go to WooCommerce settings. This is asking where your business is located, what country, and the most important thing, you want to make sure that you select tax rates and calculations. Secondly, you want to assign what countries that you'll be selling to all over the world, or just your country. As soon as you select enable taxes, this tab will appear up top. So we'll go to tax. When you charge someone, are you going to include the tax in your price, or are you going to exclude it? You want to make sure to exclude it. It's pretty important so people can see the transparency there. When you calculate your tax, you want to make sure that it's based on the shipping address when the person adds their billing information. For example, if I'm in British Columbia and I sell my product to someone in Nova Scotia, I have to charge the shipping address of the customer. I actually charge them to Nova Scotia's rate, not British Columbia. Is that right, Ariel?
Yes, definitely, 100%.
And then this is where it's going to ask you if you want to charge different shipping classes. And in Canada, we have different ways of charging tax. So you can do something like a reduced rate, but I don't really include it on the website. It's basically for things like food, water, bottled water. I'm not selling bottled water, so I won't be adding that information. And then there's something called zero rates, which is things that doesn't get charged tax at all. So this would be something like a donated good that a nonprofit would receive, and then they would be charged a zero rate. Also, we do a rate for all customers outside of Canada. So if you're charging to the US or to England, Mexico, you're going to charge them a zero rate. Last but not least, we're going, lastly, you want to indicate if you're going to exclude tax or include the tax in the cart and the checkout page. So I always exclude it just because I don't want them to see the tax till the end when they go to buy. And also it's important to have them excluded so people know what tax are being charged. So then also you want to make sure to display your tax itemized, not as a single total. This is also going to be important for when you, maybe for your accounting, you don't want everything to be bulked together. It's very important that things are separated. This question on rounding, is this something that you would want to round up your tax? Like, let's say the total was 1549. Would we want to, or 1546? Would we want to round up that tax, Ariel, or just leave it?
No, leave it. Charge just whatever it's supposed to be.
Okay. Yeah, because that could be issues later, right? Or
yes, that will produce issues later with your accounting.
And then when you're done there, you're going to click Save Changes. You already activated Stripe in PayPal, so make sure to set up Stripe. Under payments, you're going to need your API code, and you're going to need to be signed in to set that up. For PayPal, it'll appear here as well when you activate the install the plugin. And for that, you're going to need your merchant ID. So again, you're going to want to be logged in to these payments processors. Awesome. So now we're on to part 2 of this video, is about different types of products that in taxing, digital versus physical products, and how do we tax those differently. Ariel, do we need to charge tax for digital and physical goods, like for both of them?
Yes, you would definitely need to charge tax on both.
Is the tax the same for digital and physical if I'm selling a book versus if I'm selling, music or something, online music?
Yes, it would be the same between digital and physical products, exact same tax.
Okay. And for charging tax on shipping, is shipping excluded from tax or does it all get included?
Yes, you would also charge tax on shipping as well.
Log back into your website and we're going to go check out products. I'm going to show you guys different products types, digital versus physical, and how to make sure that they are being taxed properly. So if you go under products here, I have a list of some products that I'm selling. This one is a quote template, so it's a downloadable product. And then there's also something called a Little Miss mug. So people get sent a coffee mug. This one's physical. This one is a virtual downloadable. So let's just go into the coffee mug and I'm going to go to edit. Okay. And you're going to, the product data is going to tell what kind of product it is. So it's a simple product. And then we're going to select virtual or downloadable. So this is a coffee mug that the person gets. It's not a virtual product. It's not a downloadable product. So we don't need to select this. Downloadable essentially means that they get the product sent once, like by download, they get it sent for purchase. They can download it. However, that doesn't exclude it as that it's not being shipped. So make sure that if there's no shipping to be used on the product, you select virtual. And then we want to make sure to have tax status. So this item is taxable. Pretty much everything is taxable. So you may want to make sure that that's checked. And tax class is our standard. Okay, yes, now we're on to our last topic about the very detailed part about how to add the different taxes for each province and territory. So we do have 10 provinces and 3 territories. They all charge tax differently. Ariel, what does it mean when people say, GST, HST? What does that mean?
GST means goods and services tax, PSD means provincial sales tax, and HST means harmonized sales tax. So the GST actually is a flat 5% that is remitted to the CRA or the federal government. PSD, provincial sales tax, it's pretty straightforward. It's the provincial sales tax that gets remitted to the provincial government. Now, there are certain provinces like Ontario where the GST and PSD is actually harmonized. So that's why we get the harmonized sales tax, where they are charged as one tax and only get remitted to one place, which is the federal government. In other places like BC, they have both GST and PSD, but it's not harmonized. So it means that it will be remitted to 2 different places. The GST gets remitted to the federal government, and then the PSD gets remitted to the local provincial sales tax, which in this case for BC is the BC Ministry of Finance.
Okay, so some provinces have 2 taxes and types of tax, and some provinces just do one.
Yes, exactly.
If we see the link here, we've dropped a helpful link for you guys on the different sales taxes by each province and territory. So like Ariel was saying, Alberta is only 5%, so the total is just 5 GST. Okay, and then Nova Scotia is 15%, and Ontario is 13%, and Quebec actually has a GST and a QST, which is Quebec's sales tax.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to show you exactly how to add this to your website. But what about charging outside of Canada? Is there a tax for that?
Yes, technically it's 0% tax, but the tax is called zero rated. So technically it's 0%, but you still have to charge quote unquote that tax.
So if I'm selling to a customer in Mexico, I charge them 0%.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so let's jump back into our website and we're going to now add the final step, which is to add all the different taxes. So we have 10 provinces in Canada and we have 3 territories. So this means that we're going to add many different taxes, more than 13, most likely 20 different taxes, considering that some provinces charge 2. So we're going to go to WooCommerce, again, settings, And we're going to go ahead and click the tax tab, and we're going to select the standard rates. As you can see, I've already got started on some of the tax. I'm not finished yet, but just to show you guys how this actually looks in the checkout, here we are. So if I'm going to buy something from the checkout page and I select Ontario, it's 13% Ontario charge. Now, if we pick Quebec, we get the 2 tax charges that appear. So it's really important that you charge based on where, like we mentioned, the customer shipping address. So when they add their information in the checkout, they get charged the correct tax. And if we open up this handy link that we have for you guys, I'm going to go ahead and show you some examples of how to add this into your website, WooCommerce. So I have a lot of them here already. Let's do an easy one. We'll start with none of it. So you're just going to go to insert row. I'm going to list CA for Canada. And if you're not sure about the state code, you're going to want to go check out this other link that we have here for you guys from Canada, the Government of Canada site. The code for none of it is NU. NU. And we leave this blank, and the rate that none of it charges, 5%. So we add 5%. And this is the name that appears on the checkout page. So this will be how this appears. And I find this very helpful so people can know what kind of tax are being charged, and also for my own self. So we're just going to say 5% NU, and it's the HST. Just say HST. Done. You save changes. Let's go see if that worked. We go back to the checkout page. Yeah, it's working. 5%. Now I haven't added Manitoba yet. So if I click Manitoba, nothing comes up. So they aren't being charged tax. So I want to make sure that they get charged tax. Let's go ahead and add Manitoba's. Manitoba is 7% PST and 5%. So we need to add two rows for this. So we have, let's just do one at a time. We'll start with the 7% and the provincial sales tax. So because Manitoba has 2 charges, we actually have to insert another row. And we're going to go ahead, Manitoba all over again. But this time it's 5% generalized sales tax. So 5%. And I'm going to list that there just for my own sanity and for the customer sanity. But this is where people get stuck. You need to have a priority of 2. So that way it's going to be itemized. This will show up on the first row, and this will show up on the second row, second line. So it's really important that you make sure to put 2 here. And the last thing you want to consider is the star asterisk here. So this is telling the WordPress WooCommerce to anybody who is not included in these columns and rows, charge them 0. This is important because we don't want to charge people tax from the US. We don't want to charge people tax in Europe or Mexico or anywhere else. We only charge tax to people in Canada. So don't forget to add this row here for the $0 tax. And you could even call this 0 sum. And like we mentioned before, shipping is part of tax, so it's not excluded. We want to make sure everything is checked off here. So let's see if that worked. Go to Manitoba. There it is. So it worked. Awesome. So we still have many more to go. I believe at least 5 more provinces and territories. But for watching this video, as a thank you, I'm going to give you guys a freebie. I'm going to export the CSV, and you guys can basically just copy and import all this information yourself. So you can get the link to download this in the description below. Thank you so much, Ariel from Fix My Books. If you would like to learn more about bookkeeping, give her page a follow, her YouTube page a follow.
If you guys want to work with me, or you guys are just confused about sales tax or need some help with bookkeeping, you can check out my YouTube channel, Fix My Books, or my website, fixmybooks.ca, and I'll be there to help you out.
Thank you so much, Ariel. Again, if you found this useful, please like and subscribe and stay tuned for more videos. Bye.